It's nothing like Antonio.
Let's head back to Accident and Emergency to see where we're at with our patient.
Back in Liverpool, 11-year-old Olivia's in hospital with a horrid hand injury. Her mate was trying to pull her dinner parcel around her neck when the metal hook got stuck in her thumb.
Due to perform in the school play tonight, she's been anxiously awaiting her X-ray results to find out if she'll need surgery.
Olivia's X-ray shows that she has got the clip stuck within a soft tissue. It's not touching bone, so that's really good. So hopefully she'll be able to have that removed down in A&E without any surgery.
That's good news. The hook may be lying close to the bone, but it isn't touching it.
With a bit of luck then, tonight's show might go on.
Thank you.
Meet nurse practitioner Julia Maxted. She'll be the one hoping to unhook that hook. But first...
Put your lips round that, and then just take nice deep breaths, and it'll make a funny noise. That's it.
Although Olivia doesn't need surgery, removing the hook will still be painful. So, to numb the pain, Nurse Julia gives our patients some gas and air. It's often called laughing gas, and you can see why.
This boss.
Laughing gas is a mixture of nitrous oxide and oxygen. As you breathe it in, the gas numbs the pain receptors in your brain, making things hurt less and giving you a giggle along the way.
With Olivia looking relaxed, it's time to tell the hook to sling its hook.
You're being brilliant. You are brilliant. Is that making you laugh? All right.
That's not, though.
If it hurts, keep puffing on that.
Nurse Julia is carefully trying to ease the hook out.
Yeah.
It's nearly there.
Done? All done.
Yes, it's out.
The trickiest thing was opening it up. The clamp bit was quite stiff.
Have another puff, keep puffing. Just give it a little clean. It's done.
And doing it without moving it, because if you're moving it, that's when it hurts. So actually, you want to, it's just pushing it in and then pulling it without her really noticing what you were doing.
How did she get on with the laughing gas? I started laughing. Have some.
No, George, you can't have any.
That horrible hook's only just out, but Olivia's already got bigger things on her mind.
Do me show then.
Wow, that's dedication for you.
We'll see how you are in an hour.
Well, that was a pretty big hook. Good job getting it out.
Unhooked and happy, Olivia's ready to star in her play at last. Now it's time for us to hit the hospitals to show you what goes on. Today, we're in the operating theatre.
Can you see my tonsils? Of course you can't. They were taken out when I was 6. But what are these so-called tonsils? What do they do? Why were mine removed? I'm on duty with the tonsil team to find out.
Your tonsils sit at the back of your throat. But what are they doing there? Meet Dr. Anand Kasbakar. He specialises in the ears, nose and throat.
We don't 100% know exactly what the tonsils do.
What?
But we have a fairly good idea. They fight bugs. Essentially, they're your body's line of defence.
Why do they get infected themselves?
Sometimes it's just too much for them to fight. And the tonsils themselves enlarge, they get inflamed, which causes pain.
And it's when your tonsils become so inflamed and painful that you might need to have them taken out. But don't worry, your body can cope perfectly well without them.
There are plenty of other glands and other bits of your body, like your tonsils, that fight infection. So if you've lost your tonsils, don't worry.
Well, that's a relief. Now I'm going to see some tonsils removed. So let's see who's on the ward to have theirs out today.
This is Bailey. How big do you think your tonsils are going to be?
I think they're going to be about that big.
Whoa, you think they're going to be pretty big? Show me them.
Ignore the dangly bit in the middle. These are the tonsils.
Bailey's tonsils are absolutely massive. They're lumpy, they're big. They really look like they need to come out. What do you think?
Also on the surgical ward today is Amber.
Can you give me an ah? Oh, look, there they are. Have you done this in the mirror? So, Bailey and Amber about to have their tonsils out.
But I wonder whose are going to be bigger.
Let's go find out.
This is the operating theatre.
So this is very exciting for me. We've been allowed to come in and watch this surgery, which is amazing, but it's particularly amazing because it's an operation that I had and I've never seen it.
First up to get her tonsils out is Amber. She's fast asleep and the team are ready for action.
What Arnaud's doing is he's taken the tonsil and lifted it out of a sort of pocket of muscle that it sits in, so it's almost on a stalk. And then he's using the electrified tweezers to gently pull the tonsil away from its surrounding tissue. And it's almost like when you peel a piece of chicken skin off a chicken breast, you can kind of find the right direction to go through and lift it out. So that is the right tonsil coming out now. So this is the second tonsil coming out. There it is.
So Amber's tonsils are about as big as grapes, but will Bailey's be any bigger? On to tonsil takeout number 2. And this time we've got surgeon Sue Day in the hot seat, and she prefers to use a different technique.
So Sue's grabbed Bailey's tonsil, and then she's using this very clever probe to basically burn away the tissue so that she can remove it.
And there we go, number 1. And hot on its heels is number 2. And as predicted, they look rather large.
How did those tonsils from Bailey compare to the ones we saw from Amber?
I think Amber's tonsils look fairly infected and
Almost crumbly.
and yeah, crumbly and a bit shriveled, and that can happen with lots of attacks of tonsillitis.
But Bailey's are certainly bigger. So look in there. No more massive tonsils, which means, like Amber, Bailey will be infection and pain-free from now on.
So that's it. 2 tonsils out.
It's a really straightforward operation.
It's all done in less than half an hour. Absolutely amazing.
But first,
In the UK, over 5 million people have to visit the emergency department every year.
But some cases are more complicated than others. In Liverpool, 9-year-old Claudia has come into accident and emergency looking, I think the technical term is fed up. So what's wrong, Claudia?
Every time I eat,
yes?
after like 15 minutes after, my tummy starts going funny. It's been sore there.
So when did the pain start?
After my lunch today, I started feeling the pain in my tummy.
Let's stop you there and get the full story.
For the last few days, whenever Claudia eats, she ends up with tummy pain. She'll happily tuck into something.
Like a burger and chips?
Yes, and the food happily makes its way down to her stomach.
That's the weird contraption then.
Right, but even though she's enjoyed it, see, she looks happy, 15 minutes later, sharp pains erupt in her tummy. Ouch.
And I couldn't walk last night because it was sore and painful.
Meet Dr. Sarah Piper and let's get solving this mystery. Time to examine the evidence.
Can you show me where your tummy's sore?
There.
Over there.
Dr. Sarah tests for tummy tenderness because Claudia's family have a history of stomach problems.
That could be a clue.
It's probably a bit of a viral infection.
I think a virus is definitely a suspect, don't you?
Yes, but we may need to rule out a few other things first.
She's pointing more to the liver area, which is where your gallbladder is, and especially saying after meals, make sure, is it something to do with the gallbladder?
So the gallbladder is a potential suspect too.
It's possible. This is the gallbladder, a small organ next to our stomach that helps digest the fat in our food. Sometimes, if there's too much fat in the gallbladder, pebble-like deposits called gallstones can build up, causing pain after eating. And this is what Claudia may have.
My concern is this a gallbladder problem, which is a very, very rare problem in children, but she's got a family history, so we're just doing some tests to make sure.
Yes, we need to get to the bottom of this.
Claudia's having some blood tests,
So it's just a little pinprick.
and she'll be going for a special scan that will hopefully let us get this mystery solved.
We'll be back later to see if we can get to the bottom of Claudia's tummy troubles.
Medical teams always expect the unexpected.
And here's another surprising case.
At Alderhay in Liverpool, 5-year-old Aiden's got something stuck up his nose.
What's up there, Chris?
It's something that looks exactly like this.
It's a pirate coin. It's off the treasure chest.
Pirates? Treasure? I've got to see this.
Aiden was at home playing with his Lego.
What's he building, Chris?
He can build anything he wants, from partying penguins to pillaging pirates, hunting for treasure. But today, he's building a car.
Nice wheels.
Then he noticed one of his pirate coins had fallen out of its treasure chest. He was looking for somewhere safe to keep it, so he stuck it up his nose.
Ouch! I wonder how they'll get it out.
Sucking it.
Did he say sucking it?
Like a Hoover.
Because Hoovers get all the dirt out of your house.
Huh, well, that's logical, Chris.
Here to help is Sister Catherine Tomlinson.
We need to have a look up your nose, OK? I can just see it. It's quite hard to see, actually. I wonder if it's gone up.
With the coin barely visible, Sister Catherine needs to take action.
Arr, time for some treasure hunting.
What we normally do is we close off the nostril that's not got it in, and you just do one sharp blow into his mouth.
OK, Mum, your turn.
You literally cover his mouth and just blow and then come straight off, OK?
1, 2, 3.
Something came out.
That's all over me.
But not the coin.
Let's see that again.
Oh, look, snot. Aiden loves it.
You're not supposed to snot on Mummy, you know.
Mum has one last go.
Let's have a look then, up that nose.
Is there any sign of the missing treasure?
Very hard to see, Mum, I can't see anything. So I don't think we can get that out at the minute.
It just won't budge. What does Aiden think of that?
We'll have to stay there forever.
No, we won't stay there forever.
Oh, we hope not.
We've made an appointment for him to see the ENT doctors who have specialist equipment and we'll be able to remove it for him.
You might have to chop your nose off.
No, you won't.
Will Aiden get his treasure back? Find out later.
In the emergency department, the team are ready for their first patient. Let's meet him.
At the Royal Manchester Children's Hospital, Jack is in with his mum and dad, but it's no ordinary day for him.
My birthday today on the 9th.
Well, happy birthday, fella. But what's brought you into hospital on your special day?
A sausage finger.
Ooh, I love sausages.
Not this kind, Xand. Look away now if you're squeamish, because that's a photo of Jack's finger on his mum's phone.
Ugh.
Not your ordinary sausage. Let's find out how the birthday boy's digit got damaged.
It was an ordinary Saturday.
Hang on, Xand. I thought it was Jack's birthday.
Oh yeah, it was the most special day of the year.
That's more like it.
Jack received some money for his birthday, and the plan was to buy a special toy.
A flying dinosaur, perhaps.
Awesome! So Jack hopped in the car and headed straight to the toy shop.
Sounds harmless. Where's this story going, Xand?
To the toy shop, Chris.
Whoa! Did you see that?
But when he arrived, Jack got out of the car, and in the excitement, he closed the door on his finger.
Ouch! But what about Jack's birthday party, Mum?
We can't celebrate the birthday today, so we're going to have another one when his finger's better.
2 birthdays. Result.
On hand to mend Jack's mitt is Dr. Anne Markey.
Right, shall we have a look at this finger then?
Tell the lady what I call your finger.
Sausage finger. Sausage finger.
You won't be having sausages for birthday tea then?
No.
That's Mum's dinner plans out the window.
You can say you've been fighting crocodiles.
Crocodiles?
There's well-known crocodiles in Manchester.
I had no idea.
She's just kidding, Xand.
Phew. But how is Dr. Anne going to fix the damaged digit?
We'll take that nail off. Underneath the nail where you can see the bruise, it's likely that there's a laceration there, a cut in the nail bed. So we'll put some stitches in. We'll probably put the nail back on, but it's not there to retake or regrow. It's just there to protect that.
All that will happen in an operation tomorrow. In the meantime, to stop any infection, Jack's having his whole hand bandaged up.
I just want to look like a sandwich. You know?
Sausage butty.
Sausage butty.
I love a sausage butty too.
Well, that's the hard work done for today.
And then we'll let you go home for some special birthday tea.
Ooh, can we come?
We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you before your operation.